it's Kelsey from Hipburn. The question for today is there a difference between nutrition for looks versus nutrition for health and longevity? And the truth is, it all depends on the approach you take, but you can have both. There are some approaches that will give you the look that you're after, but they're not really good for your long-term health. These approaches will give you a sort of instant gratification, but in the long term will let you down. There are other approaches that can give you both the looks you're after and provide you with long-term health benefits. So let's dive in. First, let's talk about an approach that can help you achieve the look that you're after, but potentially can have some shortfalls in the long term. It's a popular trend right now, and it involves counting calories and macronutrients, aka macros. Some people do find success with counting calories and macros, but with the majority of the population, there are some negative outcomes in the long term. So when it comes to losing weight and getting lean, a lot of people have heard that it's calories in, calories out. The idea that you simply have to burn more calories than you're consuming to lose weight. Now, while this is true in theory, this doesn't tell the entire story. So here's why. Simply counting calories does not take into account how your body metabolizes food. For example, the body metabolizes and uses oatmeal differently than it does Oreos. So you need a variety of foods in order to help the body function properly. 2,000 calories of McDonald's will metabolize very differently than 2,000 calories of nutrient-dense whole foods. And often in counting calories, food quality is disregarded and food choices are reduced down to the types of macronutrients that they contain. And this is where a lot of counting macros comes into play. There are approaches out there that focus solely on counting the macronutrient content, which is protein, fat, and carbs, along with calories in order to meet a daily ratio of goals for the day. If they hit the ratio of protein, carbs, and fats they're supposed to get and hit the number of calories that they're allowed, then it doesn't matter what types of food are eaten. So this approach is saying that you can eat anything whenever you want if it fits your macro ratios. You can have donuts, Doritos, fast food every single day if it fits your macros. So in theory, that sounds pretty cool, right? But in practice, not so much. Manipulating your calories and macros so that you can eat Ben & Jerry's ice cream every day can work to achieve certain fat loss goals. However, your body composition is only a single indicator of your health. People can find early success when counting macros, but it can easily turn into obsessive behaviors and anxiety around food. It can achieve certain fat loss and muscle gain goals for a short amount of time, but this is really just nutrition for looks, since macro counting doesn't take into account food quality and your body's natural hunger cues. This again is where the idea of calorie is a calorie doesn't tell the whole story. When talking about daily habits, replacing whole nutrient-dense foods with low-quality processed foods is not a good idea for your long-term health. Even if the processed foods have the same macronutrient profile, these foods often have tons of added sugar, sodium, trans fats, hydrogenated oils, and artificial ingredients that wreak havoc on your body. Things like trans fats, artificial flavors, high fructose corn syrup, and preservatives can all have negative effects and lead to problems like cancer and other diseases. In addition, foods that are highly processed often absorb quickly into the bloodstream, leading to abnormal insulin responses and swings in blood sugar. This causes energy crashes and leaves you feeling hungry sooner, leading to overeating and additional cravings. A common practice with macro counting is to use artificial sweeteners because they don't have calories and don't impact your macro ratios. Now, research shows that artificial sweeteners cause greater weight gain unrelated to calorie intake, and artificial sweeteners can stimulate your appetite, increasing cravings for sweets and carbs. The artificial sweeteners activate your appetite, which means it can't be satiated without calories, so you're left with ongoing cravings and hunger. They can also affect the release of hormones of insulin and leptin, which impact how your body uses and stores fat. Overall, some processed foods can be macro-friendly, but they potentially have lots of additives, and these additives are not necessarily affecting your macro ratios, but they do affect how the body responds to the food, and it affects your overall health. So what approach can lead to both the look you're after and long-term health? When it comes to nutrition for getting both the look and the long-term health, stick to nutrient-dense, one-ingredient, whole foods. By eating more nutrient-dense foods, it allows your body to function at its best, and it will also give you more energy for a more productive day and better workouts. It will also help you slow down your digestion, which can keep you full for longer and allow your body to absorb as many good nutrients as possible. Now, the point of this is not to say don't ever eat sweets or don't ever eat processed foods. It's actually on the contrary. We want you to be able to enjoy lots of foods freely without having to stress about tracking or needing to earn your treats. If you want to have a treat every once in a while, have a treat. No calculations and no carb manipulation needed. Have a treat with no guilt or stress. If you focus on eating whole, nutritious foods most of the time, then having treats periodically will not be a problem. It's important to understand the overall balance in nutrition is very, very critical, and focusing on high-quality, nutrient-dense foods most of the time is great for a healthy lifestyle. When nutrition becomes too rigid, then it starts overtaking your time, your mental and emotional well-being, along with potential physical health problems depending on your approach. So this is why you will often hear us talk about a balanced nutrition approach where you choose whole, one-ingredient, nutrient-dense foods for most of your meals, and then periodically have meals where you're more flexible with your choices and you can have those treats. So here are 3 tips for eating both to look great, feel amazing, and be healthy for the long term. 1 is to focus on food quality over quantity. This is truly as simple and as effective as it gets. Focus on the quality of your food first and foremost. For example, let's compare 2 whey protein powders. The first is Gold Standard Birthday Cake Whey Protein Powder. The front label says that it's 100% whey, but if you look at the ingredients on the back, it also contains artificial flavor, sugar, cornstarch, partially hydrogenated vegetable oil, which contains trans fats, confectioner's glaze, red number 40, blue number 1, sucralose, which is an artificial sweetener, and ascorbate potassium, which is also an artificial sweetener. All right, next, let's look at Vital Protein's whey protein. Now, the front label of this says 100% organic whey protein. And if you look at the ingredients on the back, it is just organic whey protein concentrate. So while birthday cake protein might sound yummy, the added ingredients are not good for you to have on the regular. On the flip side, the Vital Proteins sticks true to providing quality protein that's organic and one ingredient whey protein. So when you have this type of quality protein, you can add other delicious foods to it, like berries, bananas, nut butter, honey, things like that that are gonna make it extra tasty, but without any of the artificial junk. And Vital Proteins whey is a great option for your post-workout fuel or as a quick snack on the go. All right, number 2, stop focusing on numbers only. So while calories and understanding what macros are in general is very important, don't worry about trying to piece together a puzzle of low-fat brownie or low-calorie chips, and just stick to those whole one-ingredient foods the majority of the time. Because instead of puzzling together foods based on calories and macros, just get a balance of whole foods that includes proteins, carbs, and healthy fats. For proteins, focus mostly on foods like chicken, beef, fish, eggs, Greek yogurt, and organic protein powders like Vital Proteins. For carbs, focus on foods like rice, quinoa, potatoes, sweet potatoes, beans, oats, and fruit. And for fats, focus on whole foods like avocado, nuts, seeds, cheese, olive oil, and grass-fed butter. And when you buy packaged foods, stop getting stuck on the numbers on the label by comparing the exact calories or whether one brand has 1 more gram of fat or carbs than the other. Move your eyes down just a little bit more to see what ingredients are actually in the food, and that will make the decision much easier. And number 3, practice balance. Eating nutritious foods most of the time is a great habit because you can allow yourself the flexibility to enjoy treats regularly when you don't have harsh rules. Honor your hunger and eat when you're hungry and until you're satisfied, instead of trying to calculate what your body should have. This can take some practice, but learning to listen to your body and to eat more intuitively can be freeing mentally, emotionally, and also help prove your long-term health and results. We like to teach a balance of 80-20, which means 80% of the time, Focus on nutritious, whole, one-ingredient foods. And then 20% of the time, enjoy other types of foods and treats that you desire. Now, 80-20 doesn't necessarily mean that you need to track that 80 and 20%, but it can help put a little bit of structure around points of eating nutritious foods most of the time while still enjoying periodic treats. And when you practice balance, you don't feel deprived, which means you're more likely to stick with the plan long term. Now, it's normal to want instant gratification and quick results, but the reality is this is your only life, and you don't want to just achieve quick results in the look you want, but you also want to have a happy and healthy, long life. So find a nutrition approach that is best for you and your individual needs, the one that allows you to not only get results, but creates a lifestyle of feeling great and being happy. So thanks for joining today's video. Make sure you subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our daily videos, and we'll see you soon.